The Know Your Gear podcast.
Taking Zoom lessons with an Aussie teacher. His newbie students are artist guitars, and they are terrific. So unlike the crappy guitars we start on. Yeah, well, that's the biggest crazy thing ever is there's everyone on the internet, the guitar playing communities on the internet, which are all segregated and all over the place, but as a whole, we get half of it right and half of it wrong. We obviously admit that all new guitars are better than what you started with 30, 40 years ago, much less 50 years ago, which was really horrible, I'm sure. But then don't acknowledge the next part, which is really what it is there is a world. Let's take a typical affordable good guitar now. A $300 guitar that's made well and it plays great and it has very little issues and it's a very nice instrument. The bar to that has been set so high that it's funny. We all go, wow, we'd love to start on that. But the reality is that when we think about, when we idolize all the great amps we idolize now, and all the great guitars we idolize now, and all the boutique great pedals we idolize now, it's because there was a time for a long time, okay, there was crap. I mean, literally just crap. Pedals sounds like farts. Amp isn't loud enough to play at a gig and sounds horrible. And a guitar that won't stay in tune. That was a thing that we paid for. That's what we got, and then yearned for the guitar that would stay in tune, the pedal that would actually sound good, like our heroes sounded like on albums, and an amp that was actually loud enough to get over the drummer clearly and sound great, in most situations. And then over time, the bar was raised to a point where that's where it is now. All the amps sound good, pretty much. And when I say pretty much, I love it. If you haven't done so, I just done some in the last week. I've done this. Go to an old music store. Go into a music store, like maybe the Guitar Center, wherever you can. Grab all those small amps, those old amps. Grab the old amps, plug into them. Most of them not great. Most of them really bad. Okay? I'm talking about amps that you adored. Plug into them. Hear them. They weren't that great. A lot of them weren't. The tube amps weren't great. I'm not talking about the 65 Deluxe and the Martin. I'm talking about all the stuff that, all the rando brands, all the random, models of, even the brand name ones with the offshoot models that, there's a lot of bad sounding product for a long time. And then almost like if somebody hit a light switch, it's not really that easy. It took, decades. Things just got really good, really good. Try and look at guitars in the affordable price student grade, amplifiers in the smaller amplifiers, just mid-size amplifiers, and pedals, and you can find great sounding stuff that would blow away stuff that you got 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And that's the base now. And so now we acknowledge that as a guitar community, but then we don't acknowledge that really the expensive stuff, it's not needed like it was before. It's not like, oh man, if I could get out of this Squire Strat and into an American Strat, oh my God, this would be amazing. I'll stay in tune. You're like, no. Now it's just about owning that 2% better sounding, 1% better playing instrument with 50% more credibility to it. And of course, as we get older as players, and I don't care who you are, it's like I saw a YouTuber once, it was like 2 years ago, and they were making fun of YouTubers having guitars on their walls behind them, like, oh, these collectors. And I'm like, dude, have you seen any interviews with any rock stars? That's what their rooms look like too. Steve Vai's room looks like this on steroids. Every guitar player, not every, the majority of guitar players, even the real ones that can really play and that really write songs and really have Grammys and all that stuff, they're collectors too. That's what happens. You become passionate about the instrument. You're passionate about music. It's like why you have a huge album collection, why you have a huge guitar collection. You're like, you love it so much, you want a lot of it. But there is a point, and I feel like sometimes I'm the only one admitting it. I'm not saying, I'm never going to tell you like, oh yeah, this, E-Art guitar or this, this Firefly, whatever. Oh man, it's nowhere close to a Gibson. And I'm never going to tell you like, oh, it's just as good as a custom shop Gibson Les Paul. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say like, this guitar is really good. This is good enough. And if you want a Gibson Les Paul, a real one, and you make the money and you're happy, you should do it because it's a beautiful instrument and it's a nice thing to own, man. It's a collector's piece and it's beautiful and it's going to be better. But it is not the jump in quality that we had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's just not anymore. Right? It's like I said, we went from crap to maybe good to great. Now we go good, right, to slightly better. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion, but that opinion is not based on like just me pontificating here. It's based on just all of my deep dive video reviews and looking at this stuff. I'm to the point now where, and I like it because it makes it easier videos. I don't think you guys realize, on a side note, and I just want to be clear, I've done dozens now of deep dives. I'm doing 2 right now as we speak of guitars that have been sent to me before they're coming out. And I have no information on these guitars, and I have to go through and discover all the information. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, well, why do you have to do it? Well, because when they usually send them to other channels, the other channels just go, hey, man, this just came out. Check it out. Looks like, and they got like 5 things that they know about it, right? Because that's what the marketing people send you is the cheat sheet, right? But on my videos, you guys want to know everything, right? You want to know the specs on the fret, the specs on the pickups. You want all the specs. And if they don't tell me that to release the video, I have to like research and figure it out through diagnostics. So what I'm telling you is, as someone who's diagnosed all these guitars over the years, what I'm starting to learn is, or not starting to learn, what I've learned over the last few years is cheap ones are good. Expensive ones are slightly better. That's where the market is today. But people keep judging equipment with ideology they have from a decade or 2 decades ago. They're like, oh, well, I see it all the time. All the time. And I'm not saying anyone can't be right in that one instance. What I'm saying is and what I mean by that is people say it all the time. Like, I got one of these guitars and it was crap. And I'm like, yeah, you got one guitar and decided it was crap. Maybe you got 2. Okay, maybe that's a little bit more substantial. I'm telling you, I've gone through thousands of guitars. Over thousands of guitars, here's what I can tell you. In fact, I don't know how interesting a video is this. I can almost tell you, if you name a brand, I can tell you what they always F up. I was about to curse. I just know it. I know exactly what to go to now. I don't care who the brand is. Kiesel, I know exactly what Kiesel does wrong. PRS, I know exactly what they do wrong. Firefly, I know exactly what he does wrong, right? Like everybody, you just, after you get a sense of what companies focus on and don't focus on in their builds, right? And no one makes 100% perfect guitar. That would be insane. It just doesn't make, it's at any price point. Like I said, you just can't make perfect. It's, I think that's, the goal is to try, but you can't do it, right? It's just silly. But you get a sense of it. You get a sense of like, I know what Schecter messes up. I know what everybody kind of messes up a little bit. And you just get a sense of what they focus on and who they all of a sudden paid attention to. So it's really interesting. You can see who's not so much copying each other, but who they're paying attention to right now. You're like, oh, I only saw this for a while on this brand, but now I'm seeing on these 2 brands. Interesting that they're shifting. So that's just my take on that situation. But for whatever that helps. But I don't think I think now crappy guitars are becoming a rarity. I mean, they're out there. Don't get me wrong. People, are making cheap stuff, but it's becoming a rarity. It's just like cheap pedals and cheap amps. They're just getting so good. So if you like this clip and you'd like to watch another one, you can click right here. And if you want to see the entire episode of the podcast, you can click right there. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.